Hello Factorio people, welcome back to the broadcast from Quality Nauvis. How you all doing? I'm doing alright. We need to start making some serious progress after last episode's distraction-filled progress. It was kind of progress, just took a long time to achieve not very much. So today we're going to do some cool stuff, and we're also going to find out something really irritating, but it's fine. We'll just have to deal with it. There's nothing we can do about it now. Have a guess what it is. Let this be a lesson to everybody. Alright, if you want to do the odd like, comment, subscribe for me, and we will jump straight into it. We spent a long time last time trying to get a legendary module factory up, and this is what we settled on. We tried all kinds of quality shenanigans, but we're just going to settle on this. Just going to pump. Just going to upcycle iron ore, basically, to make legendary plates. This is a bit slow. There is a touch more we can do here. We can take, because we've got an abundance of epic copper, which is only being turned into legendary cables. We can do the same process that we do with the copper here, and also take the rare iron, and smelt that into epic plates, and then use epic copper and iron to also make guaranteed legendary electronic circuits. And then we're not too fussed about, you know, like, this is what we explored basically the whole of the last episode. It looks like it's inefficient, right? It looks like, well, you could make common plates into uncommon cables, which would go into rare greens, which would go into epic reds, which would go into legendary blues. What are you doing, you fool? You're throwing it all away. Watch the last episode if you're a bit confused. If you want to see somebody try that. Okay. So let's make this quick change just to get this up and running a little bit better. And then we'll tackle the meat and potatoes of today. Okay. This is surprisingly balanced. Like, I didn't do a huge amount of maths, or math, if you're from America. But this is surprisingly balanced. I thought I might have to put some buffer chests in somewhere. I'm recycling a touch of epic iron plate into legendary iron plate, but other than that, you know, like, it's all pretty good. It's all pretty good, and it's just about there, you know, like, just. But as long as we're focusing on legendary prod module 3s, then, you know, everything else is... I can't imagine we'll need this many of this. So that's good. So what we can also do in the quality farm now is also start thinking about recycling all of the blue ones. The blue quality of these, because these are pretty redundant now. And then we'll focus on recycling all the epic ones, and then we'll just have legendaries. You know, and there are a lot of these, because we can turn this off at some point in the near future as well. So that's good. That's good. That's huge progress. So basically now that we've got this sorted, I want to start building with just legendary stuff. And I don't think I want to upgrade this. I think I want to just start a new bus that will just be for science. I don't care about anything that we need for the mall. Anything that doesn't go into a science pack, we don't need. Which, to be fair, is not a lot of things. You know, like, we will probably still have to make all of this. But we can make it at a decent ratio, and maybe we could just leave out military science completely. Because military science only goes into the infinite. Artillery shell range is not hugely relevant. Stronger explosives, whatever. Laser weapon damage. Lasers are bad now. Personal lasers are very bad. Laser defenses are alright. So really we just wanted to be able to focus on worker robot speed and mining productivity. That's all we really care about at this point. And we'll do a few levels of this, I suppose, every now and then if the biters start getting out of hand, which, yeah, maybe. Maybe. As long as we can keep the wall within... We're going to need to expand the wall to try and get the biters outside. So you want the pollution cloud and the artillery range to be overlapping, right? If there's pollution going outside your artillery range, then you're going to get attacks. Which is not a problem, we can also defend from the attacks. But a lot of this pollution has been generated from the stupid quality experiment from before. Quality modules in miners is a very quick way to output a hell of a lot of pollution. Alright, let's get to work, I suppose. I thought it might be cool and interesting to upgrade all the robots to legendary. For some reason, not quite sure why, just why not? Why not use the resources, eh? So I've put our quality upcycling system in place for both construction robots and legendary robots, and then also down here I have a roboport that is asking for the uncommon logistics robots. And we'll scrub all of those from the system. And we'll do the same for the construction robots. Logistics, we'll focus on logistics first because we don't even have 1,500 of those yet. That shouldn't be too much. Construction robots, we'll get a whole bunch of legendary, mostly for our own armor, right? Like these are quite good. We're still on. We need to fix this. We'll fix this today. Don't worry. Uncommon power armor. It's frankly embarrassing. We mined an entire patch of uranium, folks, can you believe it? An entire patch of uranium has gone. Turn my roboport off because I do not want my robots picking up all of this uranium. And I guess we'll just put you there instead. Cool. And we're full up on uranium from this, so this is our uranium ore patch that feeds our turbo belts, because we're using a mod to add green belts to vanilla 2.0, and as such they have a uranium requirement. So mining all of that uranium will also mean that we don't really need Clover X, because we're just going to get so much 235 out of this for the nuclear power plants. We are using... Over the last 10 hours, we've used 1.8 a minute. Somehow. Seems like a lot. They don't go into anything else, do they? Oh, they're used in portable fission reactors. Right, okay, so some of those will have been upcycled to make portable fission reactors. Because these are obviously very good in the armor, and they go into Spidertrons, and so on and so forth. There is no fusion power in Vanilla 2.0 anymore. So this is as good as it's going to get. A portable fission reactor. The fusion reactor is now gated behind space age stuff, which is a bit weird, but it's understandable. Right, okay. So we want to look a little bit at mining outposts, trains, you know, so like let me get the draw on stream payer out. The idea is to take this iron, this copper. There's some other copper patches somewhere that I can't quite see because the overlay is making the map really hard to read. And build a train network sort of like around here, basically. And we'll just build a secondary bus with all good stuff. Using our pretty decent legendary quality item farm. I did some experimenting with electric mining drills. There is a mod that increases the mining speed of this as well with quality. But I don't think I want to use it. I think the resource drain is enough of a buff. I don't... extra mining speed is... Without them being able to, you know, if they won't ever stack on the belt, then so be it. And if we have to make another design further down the line because our mining productivity is just so high that we only need like 12 miners in a row to fully saturate a green belt, then yeah, we'll deal with that when it happens. But for now, we'll just leave it. So I did some throughput testing. Have I done? No, I haven't. But I've got the blueprint somewhere. No, it was a hotbar only blueprint, folks. It'll be further down the line. It'll be further down the line. Yeah, okay. It's quite easy to get about 2 or 3 green belts of ore from one mining patch like this. It's pretty irrelevant to... I thought about, you know, like doing some shenanigans where you would get stack inserters to do stuff for you so that they came out as fully stacked, but if I'm going to use trains, which I'm going to, that was kind of the whole point of this playthrough, was that I missed trains. You know, I've installed the mod to have wagons have quality so that we can use big wagons and make trains better than just pumping everything around with green belts, which has worked so far, but you know, there's not really a huge amount of point in stacking stuff onto green belts if it's just going to go into a train. Oh, created 1000 legendary productivity modules at 67 hours, 16 minutes and 4 seconds. That's good. That's good to know. Thanks. So, yes, trains. Trains! Choo-choo. After some thoughts and considerations, I'm not gonna do a grid system for trains. I thought about it. I've got other playthroughs, many other playthroughs on this channel of grid system trains, you know, where you have, get the on-screen paint around again, where you have a block with a station and stuff gets made here and goes into another station here, and then, you know, then you just have this, and you know, I mean, I'm not doing the best job of drawing this. They would probably have to be bigger for this, you know, like, come on, right? Draw a bigger spoon. One spoon like this. Sorry, this Mitchell and Webb reference, sorry. Like this, with a station here and a station here, and then you make something here, and then you have another block here that takes in the iron that you just made and outputs the and the copper and outputs the green circuit. So you can see. Like, I do like grids. I do like it. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good way to do train stations. But let's do something else, shall we? So we're going to do like a stacked station system, and then we'll use the green belt. So we'll use the trains to bring in lots of stuff from afar with the wagons, and then we'll use the green belts to just move it around in a bus system. Right, let me quickly load the editor testing version of this, because this was quite interesting. I thought you didn't need to do this bit anymore, unloading into the splitter, but it turns out you do. If I press F5 to turn debug mode on here, you can see the white lines have the gaps. Lower the speed slightly. Show transport line gaps is what this one is. It's very helpful for debugging throughput, if you didn't know. And the reason this works is because this is actually unloading 2 every tick. You can see that it's well, not exactly 2 every tick, but it's able to unload 2 because it can unload 1 on each side of the splitter. So it's sort of unloading on this side of the... Let me use a different colour. Let's use bright red. Does that work? Does that show up? Yeah. It's unloading onto this half of the splitter, so then one of them is going here and then the other one is going here. So it's filling the gaps itself. You can see that it's swinging more often than this one, because this one is unloading onto just this half of the belt, and it has to wait to find a space, and then you lose some from the swinging parts. You could fix this by doing, not double speed, you could fix this by doing it like this. So then there's redundancy here. But my issue with this, I'm going to sneeze. My issue with this is sneeze twice in a row, can you imagine? My issue with this is it looks ugly. I know that's really kind of stupid reason to not do it like this, but it doesn't look, it's not as symmetrical, is it? So this is either side of the wagon, and then it's, you could do it like this, I suppose. It depends on what you value more, legendary stack inserters or common turbo splitters. It's personal preference. I don't know what the red means. I think the red might mean that it's being pushed back. Because sometimes they like take up a, you can see it sort of move or sort of push it back ever so slightly, just so that a piece, like there's a gap but it's not big enough for one ore, so then this bit has to wait for this to fill in the gap. It's something like that, I don't know. This also works with legendary stack inserters as well. He says that doesn't work at all. Why did I think this worked? That works with legendary stack inserters, but this doesn't. I thought this worked. Oh well, it doesn't make any difference for what I'm using it for. So okay, alright, fair enough. You can use this if you want a full stacked belt, and you can use this if you just want some to come out. Okay, let's move on slightly. Ah, what's this mess? Missing inserter. What's this mess, you might ask? Good question. Alright. So this is unloading the 4 lines, and then it's going into a 4x4 splitter. So that's this 4x4 splitter here. So you can ignore this bit of the build, basically. This is just some spaghetti to get all 4 of those lanes out without ever going over the 4 heights. So that I can squeeze this in here. So that I can squeeze 3 unloading stations into a single grid section. Debug mode is still on. So that's that. Let's get the train out of the way, it's kind of blocking things. What's this fiasco? Good question. This is part of the parameterized blueprint thing that will future-proof the stations. This is a constant combinator that just has the circuit condition for what you're bringing in, and that will be reflected in the blueprint. So when you plop this down, it'll ask you what you're bringing in and what's going out. Actually, what's going out might end up being irrelevant, but we'll see. Can always change it. This is the new selector combinator, and then all this does is taking the input of the item and outputting what that stack size is. So in this case, iron ore, the signal for an iron ore, the output is 50, because the stack size of iron ore is 50. This one times is that stack size by 400. Why 400? That is 4 cargo wagons of epic, of legendary quality. So a legendary, that's 120. Oh, I was looking at the chest for some reason. For some reason I was hovering over the chest. No, it is 100. It is 100. Storage size legendary 100. 100 times 4 is 400. So this will output 1 train load of of the item that is being dropped off. So in this case, it's 20,000 iron ore is one train load. This one is 2 train loads, times it by 800, 40,000. This one is reading the cargo, C for cargo, and that is the entire count of everything in these chests. If the count is under 2 train loads, add a train limit. If the cargo is under 1 train load, add a train limit. So if the cargo value is between 20 and 40,000, we only need 1 train to come. So the train limit is 1. If the value is under 20,000, we want 2 trains to be on their way. One for right now because we need it, and the other one is the backup train. And so then, because these are all just take the outputs and make them generic values, this will always work for everything. All you need to do is just set the iron ore circuit signal. And then also, as far as I can tell, haven't done a huge amount of testing on this, as far as I can tell, copper ore, copper plates. Oh, this is missing in the blueprint, that's annoying. As far as I can tell, come on robots, come on, hurry up, do your job. In your own time. I might be wrong on this. Maybe should have tested this before I hit the record button. Oh, that's just the track. Okay, there you are. Yes, the parameterized blueprint portion of this also applies to train names, station names, etc. So, as long as your train name is where it's going. So this is the iron ore train, so it needs to go to iron ore. And then this is the iron ore to plates train, which is why you kind of need both of those part of the parameterized blueprints, right? So if you're saying that this is the, not that we're ever going to do it like this, but this is the iron ore to electronic circuit train, then when you build this one, this is this train stop. This train is therefore going from the station that is outputting iron plates and going to the station that is making green circuits. And then your parameters here are all set up as well. 1 iron plate, stack size of an iron plate is 100. That means 1 train load is 40,000, 2 train loads is 80,000. So hopefully that's nice. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that's good. Okay. Right. Here's the annoying thing that I found out. What's the best way to demonstrate this? I think the best way to demonstrate this might literally be with the restart button. Okay, we're starting again, folks. Actually, trash the whole thing. Trash the whole thing. No, when I very first did the grid section, I didn't check how the rail aligns. So it kind of looks like it works. Editor mode. It kind of looks like it works. And but then when you rotate it, oh, it's broken. Because the rail thing is off by 1. And the only way to fix this now would be to take the entire grid section, wherever it is, here, and move it all down by 1. Because the rail snaps to a 2x2 grid, and I built the grid section on the default 1x1 grid. So like now this would work. Probably. If I aligned it correctly. Oh, it might be that it's off. It might be that it's off not vertically but horizontally. It might be this one. Rock is in the way. How is this not working? In what way, shape or form does this need to work? I know what's wrong. This is definitely what's wrong. What? Oh my god, please. One there like that. And then another one that's like up by one tile. Anyway, yeah, so that's the point, is that because the rail snaps to a 2x2 grid, I forgot to... What I should have done is I should have, when I designed my grid section, is I should have done it... Just put one piece of rail in, right? Just put one piece of rail in, like this. And then make sure that where I started building my grid section, this worked when I rotated it, you know? So like when I'm rotating it here, obviously it's all in the same place, like this. But now I can't get it to align to where this grid section is at all. Like, I just can't. It's very frustrating, but there's literally nothing I can do about it now. The only thing I'm able to do about it is just when I need to align a bunch of rails to the grid, is just hold shift and press the cursor keys to make sure it is at least aligned this way. And then when I rotate to go up, I'll just have to do this. So it's really not the end of the world. It's really not that bad. And then if I just turn the grid snapping off for the corners, because you're only going to need to do one corner at a time. Same with the T-junction. It's not like you're going to have to do a row of T-junctions. So it's annoying, but it's workable. Just let this be a lesson to you, okay? When you first design your grid section like this, just put a little bit of rail in it. Just put one little bit of rail in it, like this. And that will literally solve all of your problems. Because it won't actually go there when you build this grid section like this. It will go in between these two. So yeah, I'm stupid, I'm afraid. But, what can you do? The iron mines. The new iron mines that they have now these days, you've seen them. I've not put any modules in these yet, I probably should. I probably should put modules in these. At least efficiency modules. So this is an 8.9 million iron ore patch, and it will output 2.2 green belts, which isn't a lot. Of course it's not a lot. And we'll load that into a station. Stack inserters, legendary stack inserters for maximum throughput. Into a train. Here's the train. Here's the unloading. How have I still not noticed that that's not working? All good. Empty car, full cargo inventory, empty cargo inventory, train limit set. There we go. Okay. Right. So I did some testing up here with legendary productivity modules, legendary beacons, legendary speed modules, everything to see exactly what we could get out of it. This doesn't take in 4 belts of iron ore, but it outputs more than 4 belts of iron plates. So that's good. That's what we want. It's gonna fudge the numbers slightly, because then we're never quite using, you know, the throughput is never 100% right. But at least we know that it's always going to be 4 belts of iron out. And then we'll base it around that. So we'll have one outpost here. If I bring up Factorio lab.github.io, my preferred Factorio calculator, and load up my previous saved states, we're going to need 26.5 red belts. I haven't managed to work out how to get green belts in this thing yet. 26.5 red belts, so we need 13.25 green belts of iron for the aforementioned target of 1,353 science per minute, and that is based on the classic 5, 6 12:7:7 ratio of assembly machines that are legendary. But this is with rare productivity modules. I should change that to be legendary productivity modules, shouldn't I? If I change it to be legendary productivity modules, what number does that get me? It's not going to change anything. Because it's just changing the productivity here, so it's just going from plus 64% to plus 100%, so this number is actually 1650. 1650. Let me change that quickly in Factorio lab.github.io. That shouldn't change anything, because actually it probably will, won't it? Yeah, no it will. But my assembly machines that make them say they're legendary, it says... Yeah, okay, alright, so we're actually going to need 32 red belts, so 16 green belts of iron coming out. But actually, 10 of those are just steel. 10 of those belts of iron are just steel. 4 of those are just for green circuits, and then middling amounts into everything else. And that is also with the military science pack out. If we take the military science pack out, it goes down to 15 belts of iron. So it's not too bad. And this will make 1650, as we can see here, 1650 a minute. And then that will also go into these, which have 50% productivity as well. So 1650 times 50% is another, what, 825? 2475 is the target. 2475 science per minute is the initial target here. And then we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. So I've got this. Don't know why I walked all the way down there. Cool. All right. I'd like to expand the wall a little bit as well. I'd like this iron ore patch. I'd like this copper patch. This one is only 5.2. It's kind of irritating, but it's important to note that this was, I think if you go back and review the footage, this was 10 million when I first started, and that includes all of the mining that I did when it was like the old system that only lasted like 8 hours, but it was still there. So like it's the minus 16% resource drain and the 70% productivity that we've got already from 7 levels of this. I'm not concerned about patches running out. I'm really not. What I am concerned about is just quite... These all have a speed module in as well, so that might be worth thinking about. It might be worth thinking about incorporating another one of these that is efficiency modules, so that we can do, you know, 1 legendary speed module and then 2. This will do energy consumption plus 70%. This is minus 50%, so the legendary is minus 125. So we could do like... It's a lot of overhead though. It is a lot of overhead. It's very expensive. It might just be that you just spend the energy and make the pollution and don't worry too much about it. But there's leeway. The point is there's leeway here, right? The point is there's a lot of room here, and there's a lot of resources to turn what should be just 2.2 green belts into something a lot more, you know? And as we do more mining productivity, that will also speed up as well. Artillery must have been firing. Alright. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Everyone's happy. Alright, I thought we would do it properly, actually. Let's just do the most we can do right now. So we'll change these to legendary stack inserters. I put legendary stack inserters in the quality upcycling thing. Oh, I did my armor as well, by the way. I just really quickly ran around and picked up the legendary ingredients from down here and just built it. It's fine. It's definitely an upgrade. There's no tool belt. Did you know that? Did you know there's no tool belt in Vanilla 2? Well, yes, there is. There literally is, but there's not an item for it. There's a tool belt research, but there's not a tool belt item. Because I thought, oh, I'll fill these gaps in with tool belts. Legendary tool belts. There's no tool belt item. Thought about adding it with a mod, realised I didn't really care that much. Okay, so legendary stack inserters. We know this won't fully saturate the belt from the previous testing, but we don't need to fully saturate the belt because, as we said before, if we do it like this is only using 2.8. So we're actually just on one half of this, 1.4. It doesn't even need to be fully stacked, but we'll make it fully stacked, you know. We can always expand this later. And then the point is this is now a fully stacked belt of iron. So we could, later down the line, I suppose, if we get really desperate, and our iron ore throughput rises enough, you know, we can expand this to make this twice as tall. So then this will use an entire stacked belt of, well, it will use 2.8. The stack inserters, if you're not aware, I should be more clear. These stack up to 4 high on the belt, so it quadruples the throughput of your belts. So providing you're using stacked belts, this number being 1.4 is not a problem. It's only a problem if it goes over 4. So this is currently 8 belts of iron, because they're also being output stacked. I don't think the train can support this if this needed to run at full tilt. But this is already 8 belts. This is already 8 belts of the aforementioned 15, 16 that we'll need. So it's not too bad. It's really not going to be too bad. This will be a good start, and then we can get to that 2,500 science a minute number, plough through a whole bunch of researches, and then, you know, do some more work, add another set of it or something, copy and paste it somewhere else on the map, you know? Might have to do some calculations as to exactly. It might be that we do red, green and blue in one place with one set of stations, and then, you know, do space in another place with a different set of stations and so on. Is that in the thing? Yeah, it's not. It's not. I'll change this now, in fact. There you go, easy. And then the copper one is set up as well. I think I already expanded the wall. Has this wall been expanded since last time? Because I wanted this one. I think it was half on the wall and half not on the wall. So I've expanded to the left. Oh yeah, this is definitely new, isn't it? Is it? No, because I want these. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I've completely lost the plot here. Anyway, here's the copper one. This has got the efficiency modules in it now, at least. Cool. Progress. We're making progress. Very slow progress, but we're making progress. Okay. Right, now we're expanding the wall. Now we're expanding the wall, because I wanted this iron ore. That's right. We're expanding the wall. I think I just did a level of artillery range as well, so we're also attacking new biters. It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off. Huge progress. I needed to... What I want to do, actually, is change this to have a waiting area as well. That'll be easily solved. So the trains... There's 2 ways you could do this. You could make this is obviously the length of one train, and then you could make this long enough to have another train wait here. So then you've got 1 train, 2 trains in each station. What I am actually going to do instead is I am going to do... Whoops. Let me just move the window ever so slightly. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put a waiting area here, so with like a stacker, and then they're just going to come back in. So they'll be told to come to their station, but with chain signals they won't be able to get any further than here until this train leaves, this chain signal goes green, and then they can go in where they need to go. We'll just do it like that. Not quite sure why. It's not really. There's probably a benefit of doing it one way or the other. There's also probably a benefit, if you think about it, of smelting this on site and just moving the plates, because this only stacks to 50, whereas plates stack to 100. But that's boring. It's also hard to sort of visualize, you know. Just bring the iron ore in, and then you can see exactly if you've got enough iron ore or not for all your smelters. So we can do this, and then we'll put it here, and then we can do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then there we go. Nice. Here they come. And this is really the benefit of a global grid system. You might be looking at this grid system, you might have been looking at this grid system for the last 6 episodes and going, why on earth is he doing it like this? Eventually I'm going to get to the point where I just don't want to move. Really? Like, I just want to do everything remotely. I want to work from home. Alright? I just want to work from home. I don't need to physically go out there and do this. Yeah, I could. Yes, I've spent a lot of steel on roboports. Probably too much. Probably did not need to have made 3,652 roboports in this playthrough, with another whole bunch to come, you know? But when in Rome... Oh! Look out! Look out, buyers! Oh, no! Where possible, I'm putting my turrets on water just to make things a little bit easier for myself. Sometimes that's not always possible. This one, for example. But yeah, we're clearing as much space as we can. We're going to need to expand a lot this way to clear the pollution cloud, but the pollution cloud might also dissipate as well. I think a lot of this is just holdover from the failed quality experiment. Alright. The only other thing to look at here would be steel. The steel is a bit different, and it's a bit weird when you start incorporating quality modules as well, because then suddenly your iron ore to iron to steel is not like a 1-to-1 ratio, which it is, you know, here. 1 belt of iron ore is 1 belt of iron plates. 1 belt of iron plates is 1/5 of a belt of steel. God, steel's so expensive. Should I add a mod to increase steel productivity? Because there's steel productivity in Space Age, right? I think that's cheating. Yeah, I think that's probably cheating. Alright, cool. Yes. Look at the base. Look at it. It's massive. If there are any gaps, it's because like there's a mining outpost that is directly on top of where the grids should go. But you don't need full orange coverage, you just need full green coverage. Orange coverage is just for logistics. But orange is also the minimum distance that a roboport needs to be to actually link up, which is funny, but... Alright, the steel is in. It's basically the same design, it's just instead of going onto a belt, it goes into a chest. And then the chest loads into the furnace, so this is taking in 1.4 belts of iron ore. Which is already still too much. With this system and the legendary speed beacon, these are a third too fast. So this looks like it's taking in loads of iron, but it's not even using this much. But it's outputting about 2 green belts of steel, which is... Oh, I'm making the Italian hand gesture with my hand. It's pretty damn good. Pinched fingers emoji. Yes, steel. So, we're in a pretty good spot here. I don't imagine that this is going to hold up to any scrutiny once things get flowing. But the point is we've got a really good baseline here. We can build a whole bunch of science down here. Going to build directly over this coal in what science will later go on to call a mistake. Where is all the crude oil, though, is the question. There's 680% down there. That's pretty sad. This one is nice. This one is pretty sad. This one's okay. This one's okay. This one's pretty good. It's very, very far away. But, you know, with legendary pump jacks and speed modules and mining productivity, it'll probably be fine. I'm not worried about it. We might even use this coal directly, just put it directly into the bus, make the plastic like right here. Here's the stacker with a bit of future-proofing. So, is there a train hanging out somewhere, just waiting? So you don't need to go anywhere because both iron ore stations have more than their 2 cargo loads in. Got 48,000 cargo, which is more than 2 trains worth. But if I were to just manually override this by removing the signal condition completely, not that one, then this train would decide... Oh, I also need to actually change the tick box. There we go. The trains would come in, but they can't get any further than this. They're forced to go through this way, but they can't get any further than the top of the stacker here. Because this train is still here. It's only then when this train becomes empty and leaves that then this train can come in. And you could simulate that with just a station that says go to the waiting station and then move on. But this is cleaner, right? And it makes the parameterization of the trains a lot easier. I changed the station names to not say what they're making, but to just say furnaces. I'm not really sure one way or the other what that will achieve. I think what I built, I think this parameterized thing that I built is good for a grid-based system, which is the one thing I said I wouldn't do. Right? So... Cool. Right. Really good. Really good stuff. How did all of the robots go from all of that? We've got 1,000 logistics robots in the system. Taken out all the blue ones. The blue logistics robots currently. Yeah, there's no more blue ones in there. So we'll add these, and then we'll think about if we want to add the construction. Do the same with the construction ones, but that'll take a lot longer, and it's very intensive on the robo frames. But if I've ever noticed anything like lacking, I've just upgraded them to legendary assembly machine Mark IIIs, and then pumped them full of 4 of these, which give them 100% productivity. And what's quite interesting actually is what I noticed with this, that you can see that I've done here, is that a legendary assembly machine Mark III has a crafting speed of 3.125, but then when you put 4 legendary quality modules in, each one of those reduces the speed by 15%. So the speed ends up being 1.25, which is the base speed of a normal assembler. So you can sort of just double your throughput for free by just simply upgrading everything to legendary quality. I've not done that everywhere, I've just done that where things have been lacking. I've actually put speed beacons in this one as well, which is why this is a bit... But I wanted the robot frames. You can see robot frames aren't really a problem. Probably just stack up even more of those, put loads more in the buffer, it's fine. Cool! Good progress today, good progress today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please let me know if you did with a like or a comment. And if you want to see more Factorio, be sure to subscribe. The radar network is just coming online. That's really nice. It's really satisfying. Ignore this line here. This will go eventually once we expand north. Although expanding north is like the least useful way to expand, it seems like. It's 20 million iron ore there. Can't really complain about that though. Kind of want that eventually, I suppose. 24 there. Ugh. God man, default settings. Default settings is brutal, isn't it? Cool. Anyway, alright. I hope the one episode a week thing is going alright for you. I just don't really have the time to play that much. I mean, I'm still playing Factorio a lot, you know, but like... I can't do more than one episode a week. Can't make enough of the base work. Especially, no, we're at this stage now where it's kind of, you know... What's happening here? How did this break? Oh, I counted wrong. Oh, I counted. Oh, the stack is not the right height. Oh, I counted wrong. I only counted 5 wagons. I should have counted 6 wagons. Alright, these. Okay, alright, let me make a tag. Because otherwise I'll forget. Alright, take it easy. See you next time. Bye bye.